Welcome back to another game of Age of Empires 2. In this game we have a lot of Shang playing in blue, playing as Huns, and against him we have Polaris, who is playing in red, playing as Huns, and I do have reason to believe is actually a Mr. Yo. So if we look at the map straight away, we can tell that there's something different with it, and naturally that always means on this channel, MegaRandom's at play. So I hardly ever upload Huns on Arabia anymore, just because of the fact that everybody's sick of them, and the one time I think there's a nice exception for Huns versus Huns is when it's on MegaRandom, because the playstyles are so much different, but we'll have to see how this one develops. So the first thing we should notice on this is you don't have the standard amount of berry bushes, only 4 available there, and if we look at Mr. Yo's actually, he really does not like the positioning of those berries. He's pretty much going to have to go without them. Probably go straight onto these deer patch here, or could go to these boar potentially, or these other deer over here. So another thing we can see is there are extremely large gold piles on this map. So coming down to control of these is going to be good, because usually you get your one big patch near your starting base, and then you have patches of 5, 4, or 3 just scattered around the map. On this one though, if we look around quickly, we can see that there's just big piles of them everywhere. As well as stone, there is only 4 available stone mines actually, 2 being here, and I'll skip over here, 1 being here, and 1 being right up on this side, who is opposite Love Shang. So that's the basics of it down, I guess, and the fact is as well, there's just these small bushy areas, and nothing really else to say apart from this big area, big swampy area that we've got around the sides of the map, which are really interesting because there seems to be 1 stack of fish, and it should be somewhere. Looks like there's not one on this one, but most of the sides actually have 1 piece of fish, and looking there, see, there he is there, and the rest of them are all in the corners. So whether either player is going to go for an actual dock or not is going to be really interesting, because the fact is there's not that much fish in the sea this time. So I wouldn't be surprised actually if they just lured all these boar in that they have and just sat on deer for a while. I would not be surprised at all. And I'm expecting that's what we're going to see. Barracks going up for Mr. Yo already, which means we should be expecting that drush. And let's see, there's 1 militia there, and naturally probably going to have a bit more as soon as they drop off. And it dropped off there, the 4th drop off, and there's the extra 2, so it looks like we're going to be seeing the standard 3 militia drush with the scout included, because that is not dead yet, and we know where his opponent is. He knows exactly where that town center is, he knows where the 2 gold piles are, he knows where the stone is, and that boar just getting lured there. But still, this drush should be quite effective if he can get in there, which is the main thing. The lumber camp is towards the back, which of course means you can wall straight across here, here, and I guess that one there will do it, and that'll be safe. This mill in the back here though, going to have to wall this big area here. Gold should be fairly safe, and these villages here should be fine. Are we going to see that scout join in? Looks like it's on its way back in now. And let's have a look at this from Shang's perspective. Has he seen the drush yet? Does not look like it. And there it comes, coming in from this side over here. Could potentially trap this villager, and very fast walling there by Shang, so he's doing extremely well so far. And there's that town center, getting those shots off and getting some damage on those militia nice and quickly. 2 of them there, nearly on half health already. And it looks like he's got the double scout there actually as well. Something I did not notice at all. Did they start off with double scouts? Nice. MegaRandom never disappoints. I should always have a look at those town centers properly first. So there we go. So both players started off with 2 scouts, and that means the harassment is going to be absolutely great on both players. Whoever these militia here should just make it a little bit more dangerous. And is he going to try and go past the town center here? Looks like he could have been going for it. These 2 scouts here are going to be able to do a fair amount of damage to the militia, because the scouts do have quite good hit points, 45 starting off, and they're free units. So you got to remember, there's nothing really that they can't really handle at this stage. So Polaris is not going up. Let's have a look. Not going up yet. Nearly has the resources to go up. Should have him any second actually. Deleting that wall off there, fairly smart. He can see that he's heading back, and come on, a little bit more food for you, Polaris, and you'll be able to go up. There we go. So going up now at the 10:43 mark, and let's have a look if it will click. There we go, to Shang, and Shang's just about in feudal, so there's going to be some early pressure coming in here. Well, not necessarily early, but Whether or not Polaris, Mr. Yo, will actually be ready for it is the question. And here we go, putting the archery range up, but these scouts and militia are in the area here, so they might be able to pick off a few villagers. However, going to have to be very careful not to get in the range of that town centre there. Delaying that archery range there a bit, which is exactly what he needs to do at this stage, because he knows he's behind, and he's going to have to get the job done like that. He's going to have to just delay as much as possible. Militia coming in here, great micro there by Shang, actually managing to keep those scouts out of the way there, and not taking either just any damage on either, and that's very good effort. So double archery into the blacksmith here we are going to see, and I still don't believe that Polaris has advanced. Let's have a quick look. I could have missed that. Yes, he has not yet, and we're about to see it now. There we go. So he knows now that Shang is going for the double archery range play, and he's going to be, of course, getting on the fletching upgrade as well. See, has been done, not done yet, but potentially going to lose these units. No, scout getting out of there with how much HP? 1 after killing off that militia. Very close. So we see the double archery range and the blacksmith play for Mr. Yo as well. Whether or not he decides to go full archers or mix some skirmishes in is pretty much up to him and his gold count. But if he decided to, he could probably have a pretty good advantage at this stage. However, these villagers here could be in trouble. Scout there, good starter step by Shang. Double archery still on the smith. These villagers do potentially in trouble. And looks like he's going to just get out of there. Ooh. Oh, losing one villager there. Mr. Yo not a happy chappy right now. And it looks like all the deer have been done, so he's going to have to migrate into farms pretty quickly soon. And whether or not he actually has enough wood to get that job done, ooh, it's going to be cutting it close. So we might actually have to transfer these villagers here onto wood and gold. Just let him know. Mix of skirmishes in there for Mr. Yo so far. Pretty good combination to have when you're up against all archers. So it's just a generally good idea to get those skirmishes out. Of course, they are countered extremely easy by skirmishes, but skirmishes is countered very easily by scout cavalry. However, that's still delaying your opponent's food count. If they're not prepared to go in for it, they're going to have a bit of trouble. Looks like this wall off will be down momentarily, actually. And there we go, the palisade wall is down, so we can see that Shang is going to be able to get in and get some harassment off now. Stutter stepping there by the looks of it, however, forcing the retreat there because of those skirmishes. Absolutely great composition by Polaris so far, and whenever I say Polaris, I mean to say Mr. Yo. So, you know what I mean there, and 3 archer ranges right now for Shang. And he's got that tower up as well. Very good idea there, because it's going to be able to shelter this entire area here, which has his deer on it, has his stone, and it has his berries, so quite a good plan there. And Mr. Yo could fall behind potentially right now, just due to the fact he does not have that 3rd archer range out. But having that 3rd archery range is a pretty big commitment to the feudal war, honestly. So if Polaris actually decided to up right about now, we could see a little bit of trouble for Shang, considering he's on no resources whatsoever. And here we go, Polaris is going up, so it is maybe a bit of overcommitment there from Shang to the feudal war. Lots of units out in play though. If he can take enough out now between the time that now and when Polaris gets into Castle Age, he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Does not look like this tower is going to go up in time. It's going to be close, and archers are sitting at the base. They're losing a lot of villagers there for Shang actually right now. A lot of potential trouble. Archers coming in through this side. And he is going to be able to hold this back. However, he has lost his main lumber camp, which is going to hurt. And he did lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villagers on the way back to that town center, which is not helpful at all. But if we go over to Mr. Yo's base, he is losing a ton of villagers too. How many do we see there? Lots of skirmish go down over there. We see quite a few villagers here getting picked off. And that tower, will it go up? Does not look like it's going to go up right now. And Love Shang doing a pretty decent job, even though Mr. Yo is about to go up to Castle Edge right now. And now is the moment I really need to see. Shang has not started advancing yet. If Mr. Yo gets up, he's going to be able to go for those elite skirmishes, crossbows. He's going to be able to get knights if he really wants to. And most importantly for Huns, he's going to be able to get cavalry archers. Shang right now should be like, oh crap, I need to advance now. And his main goal should just be to hold out and try and just repel any attacks that come in, because you've got to remember as well, Mr. Yo Castle Age, it means he can get the mangonels out, and mangonels versus archers, we know how that ends, so you've got to be really careful. You really can't take your eye off, especially if that goes down. 4 archery ranges right now for Mr. Yo, starting to get that cavalry archer count up by the looks of it. We see 3 archery ranges only for Shang, so Shang is behind at this stage. Gonna have to get up to castle before he can really defend against these cavalry archers too. Skirmishes are a good option, but when cavalry archers can just dart from area to area so quickly, they're just not a feasible counter, if you think about it. And here comes the Cavalry Archer play. Stable going down for Mr. Yo as well. He's going to want to get that Bloodlines upgrade, because at the moment his Cavalry Archers are stuck on 50 hit points. Plus, it means he can get some Knights out too. And when you're up against a full skirmisher force like that, Knights are the way to go. They just absolutely obliterate. However, lots of archers are out in play right now for Shang, and I believe Shang will have the score lead once he advances. But the question is it going to be long enough? And losing that villager there, we're going to lose another one very close there, losing one cavalry archer in the process. Lots of archers getting gunned down there. And all the upgrades except for the second armor have been done for Mr. Yo. I'm assuming Bloodlines is on the way, of course, and I've got to swap over to check that. Let's have a quick look. And there's our upgrade. Bloodlines is done. There's our advance for Love Shang. So he's going to be able to start countering this now, and I'm presuming those are going to be filled with cavalry archers. And we do have a small force actually moving out across the map for Shang. And Mr. Yo might be heading this off here. However, if he doesn't, potential for a lot of villager kills here actually go to Shang. And here we go, here comes the head off, and these crossbows are going to be in a lot of trouble right now, especially considering they are stuck in this area over here. Stepping really well, as we can see, those amount of arrows there that have missed, they're going to make a very big difference to the amount of kills he's going to be able to get. And of course this army was doomed from the start, but maximizing the amount of kills there was absolutely great. Skirmishers coming in for Mr. Yo, not going to be able to do a ton of damage to these villagers, but they're going to be able to do enough just to get some simple harassment in. And are we seeing anything? We see the mangonels and the rams are going to be coming out very, very soon for Mr. Yo. He's going to be able to start attacking in on this area here and get the damage on really quickly. Another force of cavalry archers moving out for Shang. The scores are ridiculously close right now, and these cavalry archers could be potentially in trouble. There's a lot of them on low health there. We have seen the Bloodlines upgrades. In fact, I think we're sitting on even upgrades on these cavalry archers. No, Mr. Yo does have the second armor upgrade, something that Shang is missing, which is going to deduct a lot of the damage which is taken from him. That battering ram moving in now is going to be able to force a lot of damage from Shang as well, and it's going to force a reaction, because he's going to have to come out and kill it, or he will lose 3 of his archer ranges right here, which is the main archer range that he has. And what else have we got? We got the Siege Workshop going up in the back. They're going to want to get that mangonel out, because he is trying to defend right now. Rams are generally an offensive tool, but of course, if you are using them in mass cavalry archer fights, they do soak up a lot of damage as well, so they are very useful to have in those ways there. I'm swapping over here really quickly because I did want to see what happened there. Losing 1 archery range there, actually. Not very good at all, and it looks like he's going to lose a second and maybe even a third, actually. Love Shang is in a lot of trouble right now. Polaris is just taking over this map really, really well. It's forced so many towers up out of Shang right now. Shang's only been able to put up 2 town centers, and there we go, third archer range gone, and there's that mangonel I was talking about. Mangonel going to be able to kill off that ram there without too much trouble, mainly due to the fact that mangonels just do so much damage to rams. As we can see, that one hit did, I don't know, like 54 damage or something like that. Not really looking, and not in the mood for mass. And there we go again, down to 14 HP, and that ram is gone. Rams are expensive units too. However, we do have a really, really high cavalry archer count right now from Polaris, and looks like that mangonel is going to be gone, and Shang going to be in a bit of trouble here. He just does not have the cavalry archer count that he needs to outplay this. Mangonel out as well, so he's going to be able to defend from mangonels in his opponent's base, well, offend against mangonels, and he's going to be able to defend against large groups of cavalry archers like these as well. Plus, he's going to be able to do damage to these buildings, because, as we know, mangonels have 7 range, town centers have 6. So once they come out, you can do a lot of damage with them. These cavalry archers over here looking like they're just waiting for a good chance. However, town center going down over here, and it looks like Mr. Yo has been playing off 1 town center this entire time. It's not a too bad a thing you can do. I think Doubt did a lot. He just played off the 1 town center and just mass cavalry archers until he won, which was just pretty much a given tactic at that time. However, now you pretty much need to get 2 or more town centers up pretty much straight away, because that's just the expected that you have that high villager count. And moving those cavalry archers forward now, picking off 1, 2, gonna pick off any more, very close there. So it looks like he's gonna pick off a few villages there, and here comes the cavalry archer push right now from Shang, and Mr. Yo does not have what he needs to defend from this right now. His army is up in his opponent's base. This could potentially do a lot of damage to Mr. Yo, and potentially even up the scores, actually. Losing quite a few villages there. However, this town center is going to act really, really efficiently to keeping those villagers safe. And Mr. Yo is starting to even build up his force even more. Currently 108 population to Mr. Yo and only 99 to Love Shang, which of course isn't that big a difference, but every unit counts in games like this, especially when you've got mangonels like this. And looks like Mr. Yo is moving out onto this gold patch over here. Mr. Yo using all that map dominance as best he can. Skirmishes there as well, however mangonels coming in, and we know that mangonels pretty much utter skirmishes completely useless just because of the fact they get killed off really easily. And here we go, getting some damage in with these mangonels. Ooh, one there for Polaris. Looks like this could hurt. Looks like he's going to lose a few archers, especially if he keeps them bowled up like this. Mangonels have been taken down right now. We do see another Fort Siege Workshop going up for Mr. Yo. Multiple Rams incoming right now. We've got Ram on Ram right there. And who's going to luck out? Looks like Mr. Yo just got that win there. Potentially going to need a few more mangonels to take this down just because of the skirmish account. However, he does have a lot of cavalry archers there, so the push is definitely available. Plus, he has such good map control. And look at this, forward castle going down right in Love Shang's base. This is really going to hurt if it goes up. It's going to be able to take out all these buildings over here. Mangonel should potentially be able to do a fair bit of defense from this, just kill off a lot of these villages. However, it is at 40% complete right now. Mangonel has been taken out. This could be good game, guys. This Mangonel here that got taken out did have a lot of potential to damage these villages. 90, and there's 100%. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the good game anytime soon right now, because this siege workshop is gone. These two archery ranges, these three archery ranges are gone, and potentially this barracks as well. Town center is going to go down as well. He only has one to the back here, another one over in this section here. However, Mr. Yo has taken complete dominance of this game pretty much from the start. All these villages being forced back right now, and Mr. Yo taking the score lead by 1,300 points. This castle just going to be able to do insane amounts of damage to the base, and looks like this town center here is going to go down without too much effort. And what do we have over here? We have a town center going up on this gold mine over here. This is being extremely greedy, but when you're this far ahead, why the hell not? Knights out in play as well. 3 mangonels on that town center there. We do see a battery ram on that castle actually. However, it should be taken down fairly quickly. There are villages in the area as well, so they should be able to take that ram down if it really needs to. However, that knight there should be able to do it without too much trouble. Actually losing quite a few hit points on that castle there. Was surprised he lost so much. Mr. Yo currently up by 1,400 points, absolutely dominating this game. He's just put up town centers everywhere, claimed as much gold as he can, going for a 4th town center there. These towers all just getting taken out, of course doing damage to these mangonels at the same time, but if it's getting repaired like this, there's not a lot you can do against it. All these villages here being pushed out. Army count right now is at 121 population for Mr. Yo, only at 94 for Love Shang. Of course, it could be a lot worse than that. This defensive castle up over here is going to be great. Town center going up, down over there as well. So we can see that Love Shang is holding in there really well so far, but he just will not have the economy to keep up with Mr. Yo. He's going to need either some really good mangonel shots or some really offensive castles and buildings. Looks like this town center is not going to make it up. And there we go, that's really going to hurt there. It's 275 wood and 100 stone gone, plus some villages as well. So that's really going to hurt Mr. Yo, just doing an absolutely great job here. And trying to micro his mangonel there, managing to take one out, so not a bad idea, but doing very well. Polaris, and there we go, Love Shang resigning off there. Good time if you ask me. There wasn't a lot left he could do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game, and I'll see you guys next time.